the Mississippi. We'll take a cruise to the land.
I played some of America's finest theaters, Carnegie Hall, or the Apollo Theater, Radio City Music Hall, you know, the Greek Theater in Los Angeles, Red Rocks. I performed in Moscow. I performed in you know, Asia. You know, I performed all over the world. You know, Turkey, you know, Istanbul, you name it.
They call it Basin Street. Yeah, Basin Street is the street where all the cool folks meet.
These new recordings explore the more elegant side of blues. We began the recording session some months ago at Ultrasonic Studios in New Orleans. I was joined by Roland Guérin on the upright bass and Jason Marcellus of the famous Marcellus family of New Orleans on drums.
Well, these are a handful of songs that Chris has written.
My love ain't misbehaving, my angel from above.
A lot of people might be surprised when I sit at the piano, but I've been playing the piano for, you know, since I was a kid. It's just that I'm more famous for the guitar,
Fall down like rain. Was there something more?
We just finished doing a tune that Chris wrote called When You're a Clown.
But they got to understand that the blues have many shades of blue. Duke Ellington, a lot of his great compositions were blues compositions. When I was writing this, I was looking for the elegant notes. I would call it a postmodern New Orleans jazz blues, maybe. As a songwriter, what I hope to do is use New Orleans as a muse and try to create a new songbook, some new standards that other artists might want to sing or record.
When you're a clown, the world laughs at you. When you're a clown, they don't see the truth.
There's some real opportunity here to add some horns to it, some strings, some of it. Some of it was going to work great as a trio, as a quartet. But some of this music really cries for a little more instrumentation.
I'm looking forward to taking this new suite of music on the road to art centers and theaters with a string quartet.
He's producing and working out the arrangement with these guys, but he's got some really beautiful tunes in there. And you know, it's all period music, so he's had to really do a lot of research and listen to music back from the 30s, then write something that sounds like from the 30s but doesn't sound like anything else. And that's a hard thing to do.
Everything from When You're a Clown with the string orchestra and all of that stuff. I mean, Louis Armstrong, that's what he did. That's what he did. I mean, you might separate things as jazz and this and that, but it came from New Orleans. We have gumbo down here. There's a little bit of everything in that gumbo, and there's a little bit of everything in my music. It's just where I grew up, basically, you know. So was like our living room, basically, you know. So from when I was like a little kid, we grew up really poor. All we had was the blues, and that's how we survived, on the blues. My dad ran a jug joint in Louisiana called Tabby's Blues Box, and that's where I fell in love with the music. Over the years, the Blues Box became one of America's landmarks. My father had a stroke, and he had to retire. He has cancer, but he's still hanging in there. You can hear happiness stagger. The blues culture is fading. I will draw some younger fans, but I hope to open the club again in the future, just to keep the spirit alive and keep it going. It cries, Mary. My acting career got started with Old Brother Warthau. I mean, I made music videos before, and so when they asked me to do a screen test, I was able to send them some music videos. I had long dreadlocks at the time, and they said, well, if you get this role, you're gonna have to cut your dreadlocks. So I said, well, when I get the role, I'll cut the dreadlocks, but not for the screen test. Scoring music for Old Brother Warthau was a thrill. They didn't use any original songs for the movie, but we did a second album called Down from the Mountain. On that album, I wrote a song called John Law Burned Down the Liquor Store, and that song sold 1 million copies. The movie has become a classic, and when I tour around the world, those songs are always a part of my set, especially when I'm performing solo. So many John Lawton come run away from here. Since then, I've gone on to do more than a dozen films as a music supervisor, sometimes as a composer, and many times as an actor. I've played detectives and all kinds of different roles, and continue to work in Hollywood, which is a blessing. Unchain My Heart, the Ray Charles story, is like Old Brother Warthau, is also for Universal Pictures. I play a character named Lowell Folsom, whom Ray Charles used to play with. Jamie Foxx stars as Ray Charles.
Hey, what's the ass, Jack?
Oh my
Some
goodness!
skin.
What's up? Hey, how you doing?
Oh, man.
Lowell Folsom, meet your new piano player, Ray Charles.
Ray Charles. It's a blind sensei.
The film that I did for Martin Scorsese and the director Vim Vendors that debuted last year at the Cannes Film Festival, The Soul of a Man. I played Blind Willie Johnson in that movie. I had contacts in my eyes. It was a great shoot. We shot it in Mississippi and shot it on a hand crank camera to give it this old grainy look. There goes another boy down the lost highway, just a deck of corn and a jug of wine, and a woman's lies makes a life like mine. Oh, the day we met, I went astray and started rolling down that lost highway.